Well, welcome back to my channel. Yeah, I've been gone for a while. You watched my last video. I was talking about uh, how I put up 3 different videos and I was getting lots of anger from the Filipinos here. And also, it's getting a couple threats to my wife and to me. Uh, and I just took the videos down and I was frustrated for a while. So I decided not to make any more videos, but I'm not going to let a few Filipinos chased me off my channel because they didn't like uh, what I said. Anyway, if you want to know, you can always go back to the other one. Anyway, I'm now in the province of Northern Samar. I'm going to do a little fishing. As you can see back here, I got quite a few fishing poles. Haven't gone fishing in about 8 years now since I left the state of Missouri, came here. And I've been stuck in Manila, the suburb, what they call the Manila Capital Region, and haven't had no chance to go fishing. I decided that my life was falling into too much of a rut. You, Monday gets here and you go bowling. Tuesday you take a walk in the park. Wednesday you go bowling again. Thursday you go shopping. Friday you go bowling or play pool. Most of the time I play pool on Friday. Then Saturday and Sunday we go concerts and repeat, repeat, repeat. And I've been doing that for almost a year now. And it's like I just got to get out of here. The whole idea with retiring was to travel around and check places out. So that's what I did. I'm going to try to do some video of fishing here a little bit. Uh, but getting around this town, or this country, is extremely hard. First of all, I wanted to buy some fishing equipment, right? The only place that I have fishing equipment up in Manila is by the Mall of Asia. They've got like 5 or 6 right there in the Manila Bay. And, I just tried to find a bus to ride there, 45 minutes. There's no bus that leaves my town of Masalupa to Manila. So I'm like, well, maybe I can find a van. No van goes there. To get there, is what they told me. I have to take a jeepney to another town. So basically that old saying, how do you get there from here? Well, you better not start here, better start somewhere else. You have to take a jeepney to another town. And that jeepney takes you, now you can realize it's only like a 45-minute ride. If you had a car, you just drive. You take the jeepney and it takes you 5-10 minutes down the road. You get off. You have to walk to get to where the trikes are. You get on the trike could take you another jeepney, and then that jeepney will take you to another jeepney, and that jeepney will take you about a quarter mile from the place. And from there, there's no jeepneys allowed, no trikes allowed, no public transportation. So you have to walk. And it's about a 20-minute walk to get to the fishing stop. And then we have to repeat coming back with all that stuff you want to buy. I ended up purchasing everything on online here. They got a thing called Shopee and Lazada, sort of like Amazon in America. 2 different companies, and actually they were pretty cheap. But the thing is, you never know when it's going to get there, and if you don't have the exact change, they can't leave it to you because they don't carry change with them. At least they say they don't carry change with them. So anyway, I got that come back. But to get about getting around this country, okay, I was going to buy a ticket about 4 weeks ago to come here because I knew about it. I mentioned it in the other video. And a flight here, well, there's no plane that comes to this area of Northern Samar or Eastern Samar. You have to go all the way down to a place called Tacloban City, which is basically like Southern Samar. And then you got to take a bus 6.5 hours back up. And if I would have brought it a month ago, There'd been 4,000 one wife for me and 4,000 for her. Okay, my wife, 8,000. And she's like, "Oh no, just don't waste money. Let's just jump on uh, the bus and come here. There's a bus that comes all the way here, John. Sounds good, you know. How long? Oh, about 16 hours. I said, wow, that's a long time. You know, I'm figuring up, hour and a half on the plane, 7 hours, that's 8. So it's just double, that's half the money. So I thought it'd be easy. Little I know how the bus systems really work here. I actually do because I've been on the bus 3 times, going places, and every time there's some trouble comes up. Well, we get there 7 o'clock in the morning on the 20th, and our plane, our bus is supposed to leave at 3, but I want to make sure there's no trouble that getting there. So I had to take a trike, jump a jeepney, take a trike, and go. I get there 7 o'clock in the morning, and they said that it's going to be delayed until 11:30. I'm like, shit. So, excuse my language, that slip. But anyway, I go back home. I'm like, I'll just wait. So I'm like, I'll just get a Grab. That's like our Uber. I get a Grab. It's 200 pesos. I get there at 11. Supposed to leave at 11:30. 11:30 comes here. Delayed. Won't be here till 2. So now it's 2 o'clock. Still haven't left. Walk up there, and they said, oh, it's delayed. Won't be here till 4 o'clock. So I said, well, I'll just take my money back. I'll go ahead and buy the plane ticket. They said, okay, sir, but if you take your money back, you lose half. I'm like, it's your fault. It's already been 6 hours before the bus is supposed to leave, so I'm already late for going to where I'm supposed to be at. They said, sir, I'm sorry, but that's our policy. So I'm like, figuring it out. 4 o'clock, I'm there. The bus gets there. Bus takes off at 6 o'clock. Now you remember, I got up at 7. Now we get on this bus, and we're headed out. And I'm like, well, everything's going to be fine. Can't sleep on the bus because it's very small, rocking back and forth. And there's road construction all the way. So we can't go faster than maybe 20, 25 miles an hour. Getting down the road, and they have to stop at every one of their bus stop places, not to pick up people, to get people to spend money. So when I was give you an idea how it works, I spend 28 pesos on a small Coke in Manila. I get to the first place, is 30. Fine. 3 hours down the road, we stop again. And each time we stop, it's an hour. So I'm going to buy another Coke, 45 pesos. I'm like, wow, how come it's so high? I mean, I can buy 3 of these if I am at 7-Eleven, but, it's a bus stop. Next one. Now, it's 7 o'clock at night, so 12 hours. We pull into a truck stop, and guy goes, I have 2 flat tires. 2 flat tires. Oh my God. He says, I'll be back in 20 minutes. It's just right down the road and fix it and pick y'all up. Get you something here. I go get me a Coke. 70 pesos. The farther down you go, it keeps going up, right? Everything's super high. So we're sitting there, 15 minutes come. It's not back yet. Maybe it's running a little late. 30 minutes come. I'm like, wow, must have been really a problem changing this tire. Hour comes, and now I'm like, did he forget us? 2 hours. 2 hours, so we're sitting there, still don't see him. And I'm like, well, I guess he couldn't forget us because half the people that were off the bus to use the bathroom CR, they were stuck there, and the other half stayed on the bus, right? 3 hours. 3 hours after he said he's going to fix the tire, he gets back. It's midnight. We take off. Then he pulls over. He wants dinner. He didn't buy dinner there. He goes some other place. I guess he knows this place. We're all sitting on the bus pulled on the side of the road. He's in this place for an hour and a half, and then he comes back out, gets on the bus, drives down again, another 4 or 5 hours, pull over again. Finally, we were supposed to be at the ferry 4 o'clock in the morning on the 21st. I'm leaving a lot of things out here. You gotta realize this shouldn't be. If you were in a car, this drive would have probably been. If you're driving in America, it would have been a 5 hour, 6 hour drive. That's it. I'm into 2 days, and I get to the ferry. It's the 22nd. I already paid for this room. I never got to stay in it on the 21st. And I get to the ferry, and it's 11:30 in the morning. And I'm supposed to have been there the day before, early in the morning. So we're sitting there. I said, well, okay. Ask them how long this is going to be. They said they don't know when the ferry's going to come in. I'm sitting there at 11:30 in the morning till 7:30 at night before our ferry came in. Got on the ferry. And when I'm on that ferry, it's a 2 hour flight to have ride there. But it takes so long to get to that line because so many people coming back here to the Philippines, well, to Northern Samar. They got the Northern Samar Festival starting this weekend. That's why we're back too, is because she wants to go to the festival with her family. Her family's from here. And anyway, it took almost an hour and a half to get on the ferry, 2 hours to get there, hour and a half to get off the ferry. By the time I got here last night, it was 8 o'clock at night. And I paid for one night already because they reserved it, and I had to pay for another one before I even stayed in there, so I already paid two. So there's something to keep in mind, you foreigners who wants to come here to the Philippines. Plan whatever you say. Well, if they tell you it takes a day to get there, plan 2 days to get there. If they say it takes an hour, plan 3 hours to get there, because it's like nobody is organized. That's something else I want to talk about later, though. Anyway, they got a festival going here. I'm going to be filming that today. Saint Roca. I'm not for sure about how to say it's a French name. It's about this saint from the 12th century. He went around healing sick people, was able to make diseases, according to what they say, disappear. And he's the patron saint up here in this area. And everybody's coming back. That was one of the reasons why that ferry was so packed. I got in there, and there was about 400 people just on that one ferry, all coming back for this thing. Everybody, and a lot of them knew my wife. It's like I kept on hearing, "Oh, Janet, how's it going?" And it's actually, people that she went to school with, or somebody that was down the street that when she was growing up. And I said, "Oh, so you all one family?" They go, "Oh, no, we're all over the Philippines. We're all coming back for the big festival." So that's why she's here. And I was planning to do fishing. I was going to actually go about 3 weeks ago, but she wanted this festival. And one of the things they do at the festival is they christen a lot of the children. I don't know if it's Christian or baptized. I'm not for sure. I'm not Catholic, but 3 of her nephews are going to be in it, and they're going to have a mass baptism at the place. I guess there's going to be rides and stuff. I don't know. I have never been to a large festival before, so I don't know exactly how it goes. I will film some of it, but mostly going to be fishing. As you see, I brought all these poles here in the Philippines, but finding fishing equipment here in the Philippines is very hard. Most of the people I see fishing, they got a string and a hook. They throw it out there and they tie it to a stick, not a cane pole, just a stick to hold like this, and then they try to drag it in for it to catch from the bank. And I'm going to use these here. I got to be very careful though, because they said that you walk away for a minute here, your pole's gone. Somebody sees that. To them, that's That pole there and that rod is probably 2 months worth of pay for somebody here. That reel there alone is uh, 300 pesos, $300, and the rod that was cheap. That was only like 50, and the rest of them I brought, the same. So somebody ran off those and probably got half a year's pay. So I got to be really careful when I go fishing here. I can't just walk away from my pole and go sit somewhere. And now talking about fishing, and where I'm from, state of Missouri, we have these massive lakes, right? We got, I think, Table Rock Lake's got 1,600 miles of shoreline alone, and it's not the biggest lake. We got Bull Shoals, we got all these other big lakes, and then we got two big rivers, the Mississippi and Missouri. And I have fished them all my life. I have never fished the ocean, so I have no idea what to use as bait or where to find bait, because here it's like weird. I trying to find something to go fishing earlier, so I actually brought some hot dogs across the street because we know we use that fishing in America. Well, anyway, I asked them where's the best place to go fishing, and they were going this place, that place. I said, well, what about the lake right behind my house here? And they go, oh, no, you can't fish in that. That's black water. I said, what's black water? And you mean it's like a sewer? And they go, no, it's black water. So I had to look it up. It's a lake. Any lake or swamp is considered black water. And the Philippines here, at least all these people said, it's only should eat running water. So the ocean's got waves, the river has the current, but a lake or a swamp, you can't. I said, well, I don't plan on eating anything. I just want to have the fun catching them, go throw it back. And they all look at it like this, big shock on their faces. Why would you throw the fish back? I'm like, that's what you do. And man, if you're fishing for fun, you're not fishing to eat. If I want to eat, I'll just go store and buy one. And they're like, oh no, you never throw the fish back. So I went over here and I went and brought a hot dog, threw it in there, and I caught me second cast a catfish. Oh, little thing about that long. Never seen one like that before. It was real weird. It was dark green, like the the mud cat, but on the side it had fluorescent green dots going down the side. So I asked them what type of fish it was, and I don't know. What do you call this fish? I know what it is. It's catfish, right? They didn't have no name for it. They don't eat it. They don't eat catfish. They don't eat any of those lake fish. I mean, if you got a real big lake, they don't fish it. Now, with that in mind, there's two giant lakes that's built with a dam north of Manila, and they 3-4 years ago started stocking those with American largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, and crappie for tourists to come in and fish. So now they're starting to get somewhat of a sportsman fishing thing here, but I don't. I just think it's weird, because I fished lakes all my life, Here, so I'm starting to make me wonder, maybe it'd be better fishing in a lake somewhere than on the ocean. 'Cause, I went out here earlier this morning. I got a few pictures, but I didn't videotape anything. My wife took a few pictures. Caught nothing because it's pretty well fished out most of the area here. You have to wait late at night with the high tide, and that plus it's very low. The water is right here, and then I walk over to this swamp, and well, I call it swamp here, but lake a little bit farther up. I throw it in there, just like that. Yeah. I caught 2 or 3 of those little catfish. This low water here, so I don't know if there's any big catfish somewhere else. So yeah, I was shocked that they don't eat that. They do eat the fish, and the biggest lake in Southeast Asia is right where I live at. It actually covers 3 or 4 towns. It's called Laguna Lake, and it's made from an old volcano that blew up. So it's very deep. but very polluted. They say it's the most polluted lake in Southeast Asia too, the longest being the biggest. And they're catching the fish out of there and selling them. They're pulling that tilapia and something called a milkfish. Kind of looks like a catfish too, but I'm not sure if it is or not. But they call it a milkfish. And the boat comes in with it. The whole bank full up, and they're all buying that. And I'm like, well, now that's the most polluted water I have ever seen. And this water over here is clear, and they won't eat it. Figures, don't figure it doesn't. Anyway, this is part of. I'm going to try to take a picture later of a short video of us fishing. Now I got everything set up. I just got to figure out where to get some bait at, because I was going to do chicken livers. You know, I know we do chicken livers to go for catfish stuff in there, but I figured, most predatory fish will go after anything that has the smell of blood to it. And I was gonna buy a pound of chicken liver because it's cheap, and throw them out there and see what I get. Nothing else. Maybe I catch a squid or something. Who knows? But nope, they're telling me I have to eat these little fish here. I don't know if you can see it. These are they're smaller than the minnows we use or the shad we use for fishing. They're smaller than the sardines that you put in there. And once you put a hook in them, after the second cast, they just actually disintegrate. But then again, they're not casting with a big reel way out. They're just using that little thing and a small bait hook, and they're catching these little silverfish like this that they dry out or they cook. Yeah, gonna take a little to get used to here. But anyway, the name of this place is Why Not? Why Not? I don't know, something like that. I'm not saying it right. I'm pretty sure, but it's a nice resort. 900 pesos, air conditioned room, cable TV, nice patio, big area. They don't have no swimming pool here, but it's got the beach right in the ocean there. It's massive. I think I did a video before. I've been talking about my trip here a couple of years ago. But the place is pretty big. Got the use of it. It's got pavilions back there if you want to have a little family party. Picnic tables everywhere. So 900 pesos, not bad for a night. I really don't know for sure how much that is in American dollars. I would say it's probably about 17, 18. I haven't looked at the current rate today. But anyway, well, things didn't turn out the way I wanted. We didn't go fishing. We ended up going swimming with her family. We showed up there and they had plans to go and swimming. So I didn't get to go fishing until early this morning, the next day. Now, I have probably walked a good 3 or 4 kilometers up and down these things. The hard thing is that we've got a shelf here and the water's not very deep. I only found one deep spot and we caught a few fish there. Nothing really big. I'm going to try something different tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can go out wading out in the water and get past that shelf, get out to where the deep water is. As you can see here, we were catching a lot of these tropical fish. Now, I see some bigger ones out there. We're also just trying to find bait here. The bait that they use are these little minnows, and they disintegrate as soon as you put a hook into them. So I brought some shrimp, and I went fishing with the shrimp, and it did a lot better. I caught a few, I don't know, what do you even call it? I'll be honest, I've been fishing freshwater, so I don't know the names of the fish here. But I caught one that was green, one was blue. It looked like you go into a pet store, right? And you buy those small fish in a tank, and it got like the angelfish. This one blue fish, it looked like the angelfish, but it was about the size of my hand there, a good 8 to 10 inches long. And then I caught a couple rainbow colored fish and a dark green one, like that. So it was okay. At least I caught something. My wife's first time fishing. Janet has never went fishing before, using fishing poles, so she was trying to learn. I brought her one of those little mini ones that I told her that she can try to catch bait for me. That's what I'm going to do tonight if it don't rain. That's another thing. I couldn't go fishing after we went yesterday. After we went swimming, big rainstorm came in, and it was like monsoon for almost 5 hours, so it got dark. Yeah, this morning it was pretty nice. It was like 80 degrees, but that sun came out, and God, I'm burnt pretty good. But anyway, I hope you really like this video. If you can, leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you ain't a follower of mine yet. I'll do some more fishing videos later when things turn on. Till later. You all enjoy yourself now.